Hello guys, and welcome back to K-Tapes. I have some good news for you. Not that I'm back in buying and collecting or even, selling tapes, but I kind of am. By that I mean, I did buy a few tapes this week. I went to a place that looks like a dungeon filled with books mainly. Comic books and old books, but they do have a little selection of tapes. Little is a bit of a stretch. Maybe it's kind of a quite big selection of tapes. Although most of the stuff there, I've been through the inventory perhaps more than too many times. If I count, maybe about almost a dozen times I've been to that shop. So I kind of know what they have, the inventory, what is where in the store. But he received a couple of new things. That was a total surprise because I wasn't going there for that. I was just going there just to grab one tape in particular. But I ended up seeing a batch of new tapes coming in, which totally surprised me. And within those tapes, the great thing is there were many older ones, so that was a good sign to start with. But I must say that I didn't find any those massive pearls, let's say the diamonds in the rough, kind of like the Last House on the Left or the Nightmare, or things that I know some people were looking for for ages. None of that stuff, sadly, because otherwise I would have been insanely excited. Although I'm quite excited when I go through a bunch of tapes like that, and it looks like he had I don't know, it's almost nearly 1,000 tapes in there, maybe a bit less. Still, this is a lot of VHS to check through, and the more there are, the happier I am, because I love just browsing tapes. It's just a thrill of the hunt, right? So anyway, I did pick up about 20 of those. 2 or 3 of those were erotic tapes that I needed to rip for. I'm working on a project with those. The Korean erotic films. Anyway, so there are 3 or 4 of those I bought, but the rest were just stuff that I did buy specifically for resale purpose. So I do hope they sell, because otherwise that's going to be a bad thing, because I don't want to dive back into buying tapes and having a bunch of shelves at home filled with cassette tapes. It's just it's a no-go. And also the thing is, I didn't find again, not that I didn't find anything amazing, but it's just everything I found was kind of cool stuff, but not massively expensive tapes. It's what I'm trying to say here, okay? There's no tapes in there I'm gonna sell $400, $500. No. But I would say most of them will be about maybe between 40 and I don't know, maybe 60-ish, something like that. I'm gonna cut out some good decent prices, much lower than what I used to sell them for, because like I said, I want to grab those. I want to see that stuff rolling, and if I do get more tapes down the road, I want to grab them, put them up, they go, they sell, I'm happy, and I can reinvest and get new stuff, and people will see me making those videos. That's kind of just the point of doing this, because like I said, I want to change the channel and go in another direction, but I still want to have a door open for all the tape stuff, because I know many of you obviously are here because of the videotapes, and I don't want to get rid of completely of the videotape talks and hunts and stuff, because I know most of you like this stuff, right? But yeah, I just don't want to have I cannot stress that enough, but I don't want to fill my shelves with videotapes. Never again. Just 1 or 2 shelves is enough, and as it is now, this stuff that I'm gonna show you today needs to go. All right, it needs to sell. So without any further ado, let's start with what I picked up. So I'll start off with some recent ones, and this is again stuff that I shouldn't have picked up because, well, as you can see, this is Benjamin Button, and this is actually Harry Potter Part 6. Don't ask me the names, I'm super terrible with. I've never seen the Harry Potter films beside the first and the second one, but this is the Half-Blood Prince right there. this is. So they have blood prints, and many people didn't thought like those were released. Like this one was released on videotape. I think part 4 was in a few other countries. Part 5, I'm not sure. Maybe South Korea is the only country, or maybe another country has it as well. But this one is only South Korea. Well, there's a bad thing about these 2 tapes right here. Not the quality, not the tape themselves, because they're really clean. Although this is like got a rip on the sticker, which is sad, but the sticker on the side is there. And they don't have any or barely any sun fade. Like you can see, it's green, it's perfect, it's not blue. So it is a great copy. So same thing goes with Benjamin Button. But if you know these tapes, well, if you look part 1, part 2, so it's missing one part for this one, and it's missing one part for this one, because each movie is on 2 tapes. So I'm missing a tape for each to make the complete movie. And you would say, well, why the hell did you buy that? Well, simply because this is in quite high demand, obviously. Harry Potter, I mean, and it's the only one of the, if not the only one, that never made it on tape outside of South Korea. And I've ever found only one complete copy of this before, and it had some fade on the spine. So this is very rare. So that's why I thought, well, I buy it. If I ever find, even if I find a complete version later on, at least this one is very clean, so I can swap the tape or swap the sleeves. So, I mean, and the price was okay-ish. So I'm like, yeah, you know what, I'll pick it up. So I grabbed this one. Same thing goes for Benjamin Button. It's on 2 tapes. Look at this. It's perfectly minty on the spine and everything. On the back, it's beautiful. No sun fade. The tape is clean as well. So I'm like, okay, I'll pick it up. And if I go back to that place and he happens to get new stuff, well, maybe part 2 will ever maybe show up. Who knows? So that's why I grabbed this. Another one I grabbed because I'm going with the late releases here, but this is 10,000 BC, and the only reason I picked it up, not because it's a title that is much in demand or anything, but it was so mint. I mean, look at this. There's no sun fade whatsoever. It looks like brand new. Same thing with the cassette inside. I don't even need to clean it. I mean, I'll probably clean it, like, you know, pass it in the VCR once, but it's perfect. It's in perfect shape. It comes in its original Warner Brothers box. So for any collectors, that's a must, I think, if you're into the late releases, because that's late 2008. So it's getting up there. So yeah, I grabbed this 10,000 BC. You don't see it very often, and in this condition, well, you don't really see it at all, I should say. So that's it for the late releases. Now we're going to dive into the old school stuff. So if you're into this video to check about like the old rare movies, the cult stuff, the horror movies, well, this is what I have for you next. Starting with one that I totally forgot the title. Well, you said, well, it's written Undercover on the cover. Well, it's Undercover by Bill Duke, who was the guy who was like dry shaving in Predator, the movie Predator. So the guy made some movies. He was a director as well as an actor. And this was a movie he made in, I think it was 1984, 85. It's a movie made for TV. And the original title as FBI something, it's like the name of the character, FBI, I don't know, John or whatever, in the title. So just look on IMDb under Bill Duke, FBI something something around 1984-85, and that's the film, and it's a TV movie. It's kind of a blaxploitation TV police film, I think. There was another like famous actor, I think, in this film. Can't remember who else. Not Fred Williamson, but someone else. Anyway, so this is quite rare. I checked on not IMDb, but eBay, and there's like an old DVD that they made for this, but back when they were making those really shitty DVDs that were pretty much like rips of videotapes. I mean, the quality was abysmal. I mean, it was just like, I mean, you buy a DVD and you're hoping to get like a DVD, you know, quality, but you get like VHS quality. Anyway, But this is the original tape. I don't think it ever came out on tape in the States, or maybe it did. But what I was going to try to say with the DVD is that it was selling for like over $100. Why? I don't know. The DVD is rare, it's discontinued, whatever. But this is the original tape. It's on our beloved DNS label, which we all love. And yeah, I mean, this is probably going to be a one that I'm going to, I don't know how much I'm going to ask for this one. It's really cool. But like I said, I'm going to go around like 50-ish for like most of the tapes in there. To me, to my eyes, they're worth about all around that price range. So there you go, FBI something Undercover, all right, TV movie from the mid-1980s. Okay, next we have, this was released a bit later. This is a 2002, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it's 2002, but this is a 1975 movie called Mondo Magic. It's one of those Mondo films made in Italy, I mean made by Italian directors, filmed around the world. This one is probably like filmed in Africa, about like some weird rituals and stuff. So Mondo Magic, I think it's uncut, I'm not too sure, but everything that came out in South Korea, like post 2000, was usually uncut, okay? It's the old releases that are usually all cut, okay, if you're wondering. So this was post 2000, so I'm guessing it's uncut. So yeah. So there you go, Mondo Magic. It's a really cool cover, by the way. Really nice. It really stands out on a shelf, even from the spine point of view, right? Look at this. So yeah, Mondo Magic. What else to say? Yeah, I mean, it's unfaded. It's a beautiful copy. Okay, let's move on with Death Wish. Why am I like thinking it's right there, Death Wish? So this is Death Wish, Charles Bronson, classic. It's the first movie, and you can even see, forgot his name. My God, I point him out and I cannot even tell his name. Anyway. I'm tired. Anyway, so what else would I say with this? Yeah, it's a beautiful copy. That's why I picked it up, because there's barely any sun fade on the spine. You can see it's slightly pink, but not too much. It's a beautiful copy for any fans of Charles Bronson, Death Wish. Pretty much a must to get. All right, next. This one I don't think I'm going to sell it, because probably nobody knows about this, but this was a old school 1990s, 1993, when Korea was making those like unlicensed or like very, you know, under the radar productions that was kind of like rip-offs of like famous Japanese animation or Japanese yeah, comic books and stuff, just like they did with Dragon Ball, they did with Street Fighter, they did with what's the other one, Fist of the North Star. So this is a basketball movie. I think it was like that basketball animation series which they made into a live action for kids. So it's super rare, and like I said, with all this kind of like kids movies in South Korea, it's usually highly collected by Korean collectors. So that's why they're so hard to get. So I was really pleased to be able to get my hands on that. It was kind of like randomly in the pile there, so I jumped on it. Sadly, the only thing about this is the tape is part 3, and as you can see here, there are like 4 parts. So I do have part 3. I guess I'm missing 3 parts, and it's not in top shape because it's been ripped here. I had to change the whole box because it was really beat up, and you can tell it's got some damage at the top. It's not amazing. But this is so rare, and it was pretty clean as well. I mean, I didn't touch anything, by the way. I didn't clean anything yet. So all the tapes there were like really clean. So that was a huge plus for me, because saves me hours of cleaning. So yeah, maybe in the future I will find the other parts, who knows. But I was kind of curious. That's why I picked it up, mainly is because I was curious about what this was. And kids stuff, like I said, is you never see that in the wild ever anymore. All right, it's always like some Koreans, locals, they just jumped on that stuff and it's gone. Okay, next we have a movie by Jean-Marie Paillardy. If you don't know this name, the guy is a French director. He started his career in, I think in 1979, around that time. He made like some not erotic, he made pornos, some with like some famous French actresses. And then he moved on to make some like more, I wouldn't say like mainstream B movies. He made like Foxtrap with Fred Williamson. He made Whitefire, that was like his big hit. And this is another one of the same era, that's 1987. It's Overdose. And the reason I picked it up, well, because it's Jean-Marie Paillardy, of course, French director, so super rare film. And well, it says full moon. I don't think it's full moon. I think it's like a fake full moon from South Korea. They just ripped off the, see, it says Cinemax Home Video. They just ripped off the logo, which is kind of funny. Anyway, but the great thing about this one, let me just focus. It's mint, okay? There's zero sun fade on this. If you had it in your hands, you could tell even the plastic cover, everything is perfectly clean. Original clamshell, top shape. I mean, you cannot find a better copy than this. So super happy about this one. Yeah, there you go. Okay, next we have another one that I don't see very often. Actually, I kind of never see this one. It's perhaps the first or even this maximum second time I've seen it, so that's why I picked it up. And it's an SKC release. And like I said before, the SKC releases that were released around that era, I'm talking about like 1989, 1990, so 87 to like 91, they're kind of really rare. So I guess, I mean, not just this movie in particular, but like many other releases are like kind of tapes I found like once or max 3 times over like 15 years. So they're really hard to find. Why? I don't know. Yeah. So I picked this one up, Alienator. So if anyone wants it, I'll have a very nice price for it. The only thing, of course, if it has like a bit of damage at the bottom, I had to swap the box, by the way. Same at the top. The rest is fine. The rest I would say is okay. Is it clean? Yeah. I didn't touch it. Oops, let me focus a little bit. I didn't touch it yet. I'll have to clean it anyway, but as you can see, yeah, it is clean. It is clean. Wow. SKC box. So in case you're wondering, SKC tape with the matching clamshell. Speaking of SKC, let's go with another one that I picked up. I love those SKCs from the late 80s. We have Savage Beach by Andy Sidaris. Again, I think it's the second time I see this tape. I think once when I saw it, it was like super moldy, so I never bought it. But this time around, it was in pretty decent shape. Yeah, it is pretty clean. It's just missing the sticker on the spine, but that's not too much of a worry. The thing is, because this particular label, SKC, their sticker would, the glue would dry with time, and these would just fall off like by themselves, and that's why this is missing. I'm guessing. Even this, the top one was falling off. I have to glue it back. Now it's okay. Well, let's see on the back. Look at this, classic. And this was what, 1989, and I guess it's a 1990 release. Savage Beach, and once again, SKC clamshell in great shape. Only the bottom right here is not too great, but the overall quality of the rest is great. The tape is perfect, so I mean, as close as perfect as we can, you know. So there you go. Okay, next one is a curiosity I picked up, because this one I had it in the past. I bought it online from a seller, and the tape inside was the wrong tape. So it really pissed me off, because I was so curious about what the hell this was. This time around, it is the right tape. As you can see, this is the matching title right here. It's the right tape. It's called 7 Targets. It's a Mexican film, and to me it looked like those Intrepidos punks. It does look like this. You have like those punk guys there with makeup and stuff. It looks so weird. And motorbikes, I mean, it does look like that film. I'm sure it is not that film, it's something else. But it looks so wild, so that's why I picked it up. And again, I'm gonna offer this for a decent price. So if you're also curious, like as I am, it's probably gonna be in Spanish, by the way. I don't think it's gonna be in English. So Spanish original language with Korean subtitles. But a fairly rare film and a curious one. Okay, next we have what looks like an erotic film. It's not, it's The Men from Deep River. It's a cannibal film from the 1970s. So again, I had that in the past. It's minty. I mean, you cannot get cleaner than that. No sun fade, beautiful DNS label as usual. Here we have some Korean censorship, so they don't want to show, you know, nudity or anything, so they put this white, whatever, like blurry. So yeah, cannibal film, Men from Deep River, with a very unique cover that makes you think it's something else than a cannibal film. Again, I'm gonna have a gentle price on this. Sold it for like, I think it was like, at one point I think I sold this for like $200 or $300. I'm gonna go below, way below 100 for this, even though it's minty, because like I said, I want to see this stuff move. All right. Okay, next, what do we have? What should we go with? Oh yeah, because there's a movie coming up next year, which I'm very hyped for. Well, we have Mad Max, and this is Mad Max 2. It's one that you don't see quite often anymore, or if you do, it's going to be either moldy or the sleeve will be totally sun-faded or beat up. This one, well, you remember what I said before, if it's yellow on the spine and it's perfectly yellow, it means it's not faded, because yellow is the first color to go away. Yellow, red are the colors that you'll see fade so quickly. So this is not like going light yellow or white, it's still yellow. So this is an unfaded copy. Anything else about this? Well, the artwork of the poster is so gorgeous. And this was the American release, I remember. Yeah, the only little thing is on the corner right here. It had like a tear, which is not too, like, see, it's like smaller than my pinky. So yeah, there's a little tear here, but that's it. I changed the clamshell once again, because this is an SKC, and I changed it to a beautiful SKC clamshell, matching the film, of course. The tape is clean, everything. So this one, by the way, I cleaned it. It wasn't that much dirty, by the way, but I did clean it. So Mad Max, a beautiful tape, beautiful copy. So happy to have grabbed this one. Something a bit different. This is, by the way, I told you I was, you know, grabbing some like Korean erotica for a project that I have I've been working on forever. This is a series that has 4 movies. Part 3, I had it, but the copy was. The playback was garbage, so I was really happy to find another copy with a beautiful tape inside that was like super clean, so I can make another rip of it. So I kind of just bought it to make a rip of it, and I'm gonna sell it back if anyone is interested. By the way, if you're wondering, okay, it's like, what is this, just like Korean erotica? Well, yes, it is, but the specific thing about this is it's a series. I mean, by series, I just mean like part 1, 2, 3, 4, not like a series, like a TV series, obviously. It's just like movies has like 3 sequels. It's what I call a Nordsploiter, or a Nordsploitation, because the main thing about this is about like a North Korean spy, something adventure in North Korea. So it's a South Korean take on North Korea within an erotic film. So I don't know if you follow me here, but this is very, 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 very niche and very unique. Although there was a whole subgenre of those films in South Korea, and they were all made around the same time, so like 1998 to 2001-ish. I guess like there was like some kind of exchange with North Korea at the time, and it was going well, so they decided to, you know, tag along and make those films. Okay, there's nothing too racy, so I can show you the back. So you can see the girls wearing the hanbok, which is like the dress, like the Korean, and this very North Korean style right here. And by the way, they always put like those bras which are drawn, so you don't. So there's nothing like you can show it. There's nothing too bad. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. Fantastic. Okay, let's move on. Oh, I have another DNS here. This actually, I was so happy to find this. Only when I looked at it, because I didn't know about this film called Killzone. I was like, what? There's like a million movies called Killzone. Well, it turns out it's a David A. Pryor film. And this was made around the same time that he made Man Killer and all those like famous films like Killer Workout. Those films, they're like mid 1980s. So this is another one of the very early efforts of like when he started to become famous. So Killzone, super happy to find this. It's on the DNS label. Only the top here is not like in super shape, of course, but the rest of the cover, if you look, the rest here at the bottom here, even there's barely any sun fade. I mean, there's a tad, but not much. And yeah, there you go. This is the back. So I guess it's like a Vietnam War type of film. Yeah, I've never seen it. Looks great, and super happy I found this tape. There you go. Oh, Undercover. Whoops. Well, this goes with the other tape. I may have swapped them. So it is the. Well, let me check now. In case. Yeah, there you go. Killzone. No more mistakes. Okay. Okay. Would have been bad if I had to sell this and person received Undercover. So Killzone, there you go. Beautiful. DNS. Okay, we have two more to go. The first one we have Toxic Spawn. Oh my god, I have like a brain fart right there. Schnapps. Okay, I forgot the title. I'm stupid. I'll just write it down at the bottom. I just know it's an Italian film, like kind of a ripoff of Alien. Oh my god, how can I forget this title? Yeah, it's just because they changed the title. It's not Toxic Spawn. It's well known under the other title, but there it is. Anyway, does have a bit of sun fade, but the rest of the cover, I mean, there's no, there's no damage at the top or bottom. So it is a beautiful copy. Look at this, it's gorgeous. So yeah, this will be up for sale as well. And the last one, and I don't keep it because yeah, it's the last one is the best. But look at this. I found two copies of I Spit on Your Grave. And one of them is actually unfaded, which is like, wow. But look at the top of the spine. It has this damage here, sadly, and it's missing this little chunk. Because otherwise, even at the top here, the bottom is great. Same thing if you look on the back, the top is pretty notch. It's pretty top notch, I mean. Same at the bottom. And this one turns out that yeah, it's also in great shape, but it is sun faded. I mean, you can really tell from this one right here. Look at the red. See, it's a huge difference. But this one overall, because it's not missing the chunk, I should say, is in better shape. But it's so heartbreaking. So you know what I'm gonna do if somebody wants to buy it, I'm just gonna give you both sleeves, and dude, you choose which one you want to put on your shelf, and the other one, well, you can keep it. So yeah. In case you have a change of heart at some point, you're like, oh, you know what? For me, it's better the one without the chunk missing. Or if you prioritize the non-faded spine, it's going to be up to you. So I'm going to give you both. I'm just going to give you one clamshell though, so you will choose between this generic transparent one, and this is the original one, although it's not in, it's okay, it's in okay shape. So as you can see here, with this is the logo, you know, that you find on the spine right here. So this is the original box. So if you do want the original clamshell, although it looks like a bit more rough, but it's in excellent shape as well, I'll give you the original box, or you can have a very pristine, just generic transparent box. It's gonna be up to you. So whoever buys this, you know, I'm throwing both of them, but I'm just gonna give you one case because for the shipping it's just, you know, it's cheaper, and yeah. So there you go, guys, that's it. That's all I have for you today before 2024. I said I was hoping I would get more stuff, and I did. Will I get even more stuff before Christmas? Well, I don't know, maybe. It's all gonna depend, because I'm always looking around, I'm always checking, see if new things are popping up here and there, going to Seoul, checking online. So we'll see. But this is all I have for you. And yeah, if you want anything, as usual, just text me, or you can check on my Facebook, let's say that Facebook channel, but you can check on Facebook, you know, in the Korean VHS group. I usually post my stuff there. So yeah, I'll probably actually post everything. What day is it today? Today's Friday. Now it's Friday evening, so I'm hoping I can get this video out by tomorrow, by the time, you know, it processes in 4K, blah blah blah. So tomorrow will be out, and at the same time I'm going to post all the tapes for sale at the same time, so you can check the tapes, see how much I'm asking for them, each one of them, and also backtrack with my video if you actually want to see the whole tape from the back to front, see how it looks like. And for some of them, by the way, the tapes are all clean, so you don't need to worry about that. The only one that was like trash was this one, by the way, which I throw in the trash. That's why I have two sleeves, because one tape was a no-go. Okay. Oh, if you want to check, by the way, there you go. So this is the tape. Excellent shape. Okay, so that's it, guys. Thank you once again, and I really hope I'm gonna see you again for one more video before Christmas, because I do have some footage of stuff I want to show you, just didn't have time to edit anything. I'm gonna be on vacation soon, so I'll have plenty of time to make more videos, and hopefully you'll see also the new stuff I'm planning for next year. All right, so check it out, leave a comment and leave a like, and subscribe if you haven't, and see you on the next one.